All right, hey everybody. So I wanted to walk you through this week's Week at a Glance to kind of explain what it is you guys are going to be doing this week. So Monday, hopefully the day that you're watching this YouTube video, I want you to watch the weekly update and then take a look back at any feedback that I've given you from your first two quarantine keepers, and then you're going to be doing your third response. So this third response that you're really focusing on this week is all about how last week went. So how did your first week of continuous learning go? What were some things that went well? What were some challenges that you ran into? What are maybe some additional supports that you might need, be it personally or academically, during this kind of challenging time? So that's what you're going to be doing on Monday. Remember that Tuesday is kind of set aside for your other content area. So I just suggested that you're reading for about 20 minutes. I know that most of you have kind of written about the fact that you are reading at home, which makes me extremely happy. And then on Wednesday, you're going to be finding an independent reading novel because that's going to be really important for our kind of culminating capstone that'll take us through the rest of the quarter. So I know it seems like there's a lot there, and I'm going to kind of break it down. I promise it's not as much as it seems. So the first thing that I want you doing is kind of reading through this continuous learning independent reading unit introduction. So I'm not going to go too deep into it now, but I do want to touch on these top three things under the independent reading requirements. You need to make sure that you are either having a hard copy book, a ebook, or an e-novel. It can't simply be just a audiobook because you're going to see that a lot of the work that you're doing alongside with this unit needs your eyes on the text. You need to make sure that it is a fiction novel, so it can't be a nonfiction novel like a memoir, a bibliography, an autobiography, or a collection of essays. It needs to be something fictitious because we're going to be really studying things like character development, setting, conflict tracking, all of that. And it needs to be a challenging read. So it can't be something that you just go over to the bookshelf, grab off, and it was something that you read when you were in the third grade. So I've kind of included a list of suggested novels for seventh grade reading abilities. So some areas that you might find those are kind of listed down here. So if you do need an e-novel, these are some places to look at. The next thing that you're actually going to be doing is finding your novel. So you need to make sure that you have your novel before you move on to the next part. I'm going to be doing a lot of video instructions using S.E. Hinton's The Outsiders, which is what we would actually end the kind of year reading. The next thing that you're going to be doing is filling out this continuous learning or e-learning independent reading survey. It's pretty straightforward, but I do want to focus on the second half of it. So these continuous learning focus areas, these let me know what we as a class really still need to work on. So there's about 15 I can statements. So the first one here is I can identify the literary elements in a story or novel. So examples of protagonist, exposition, or climax. Those are going to be really important for letting me know, okay, this is kind of the mini lessons that I need to put together. These are what we still struggle as a class. So 1, you really struggle with it. 5, you've kind of mastered that skill. I want you to be as honest as possible. Nobody's going to see your score. Even I'm not going to really see your score. I'm just going to see kind of an aggregate of this is what we need to work on. So the next thing, once you finish that, is I want you filling out this continuous learning class reading tracker. So this is going to be kind of a fun way for us to see what everybody is reading, but also see how much we're reading. So you're going to fill out, or this will already be filled out for you. It's going to have your first and last name. You're just going to put the title of the novel that you're reading and the author, the pages that you've read during that week. So you're going to see that this is sequestered to each week. So for this first week, during that week, how many pages did you read? Make sure that you're just putting the number. You're not putting like 32 pages. You're just putting 32 because you're going to see that as soon as we start entering these in, this up here is going to tell us how many pages total we've read. The last thing I want you taking a look at is this literary terms review. This is going to cover all of the terms that we've looked at this year. It's going to be a good way to brush up on some of those skills. So I hope you have a great week. I'm really looking forward to tackling this week of continuous learning with you guys, and I miss you greatly.